You ever notice how your mind can replay a moment like it's stuck, like it's on repeat? Something you said, something you didn't say, a decision from 5 years ago that suddenly becomes urgent at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. It happens to me all the time. Guess what? That loop has a name. It's called rumination. And today we are going to talk about what it is, why it happens, and most importantly, how to stop letting it run your life and possibly ruining your life. Thinking is healthy, but overthinking, not so much. That's where the trouble starts. Welcome to Turn It Up with your host, Al Maldonato. I am grateful that you're here and you clicked on this channel. This is another subject that's near and dear to my heart. I personally go through this daily. There's times that I can grab it and stop it, and there's other days I can't. By me talking about this and talking to you about this, it gives me like the teacher syndrome, like I'm teaching myself. And it greatly helps me when I do these podcasts talking about this stuff. All of my content that you see here is all my personal experiences from this past 63 years. There is no fluff, there's no BS, there's no AI. It's just me. So I would really appreciate it if you watch to the end. There's a lot of good information here. And rumination seems to be popping up all over the place. All of a sudden it's becoming something that people are becoming aware of. So if this content makes sense to you and resonates with you, I'm going to ask you to hit that like button. I'm going to ask you to subscribe, please, and share it. Leave a comment. Your comments help me to make better content. So let's dive in. Let's talk about what rumination really is. Rumination isn't just thinking a lot. You create a thought, there's generally a beginning and an ending with some kind of resolution. Rumination is thinking without resolution. It seems to never end. It's when your mind keeps circling the same thought, the same mistake, the same fear without moving forward, without any answer or any action. You're not solving a problem, you're just reliving it over and over again. And here's the crazy part. At times, rumination feels like it's productive. The brain tells you, if I think about this a little bit more, it will be resolved. I'll come to a conclusion. But most of the time, you don't figure it out. You just feel worse. Rumination keeps you stuck in the past, or worse, trapped in an imaginated future, while the present moment quietly slips away. So why do we ruminate? So why do we do this to ourselves? Why do we allow it? Yes, folks, just allow it. And it's something that we're going to talk about in a future podcast. One answer, as crazy as it may sound, is control. Rumination gives the illusion of control. If we just replay something enough times, maybe we can change it. Does it happen to you? Bad news is that we can't change the past. It's already happened, especially in your mind. The next possible answer is what they call self-protection. Your brain thinks it's helping you to avoid pain in the future by analyzing pain from the past. It's like saying, if I suffer now, I won't suffer later. Sounds a little bit insane, doesn't it? But you're not insane. And a final possibility is, which is very familiar to myself, is unprocessed emotions. Rumination often shows up when feelings haven't been felt. Grief, regret, anger, fear comes in like a wrecking ball. I can tell you some stories. These thoughts become that stand-in for emotions we don't understand or allow ourselves to experience. Again, that word allow. And the longer we avoid the feeling of grief, regret, anger, shame, fear, the louder the thinking gets. So let's talk about the cost of rumination. Let's be honest about this. The cost is high. It can make you bankrupt. I know it almost did to me. Rumination can steal your sleep, drains your energy. It feeds anxiety and depression. It's like gasoline on fire, folks. It can make small issues feel enormous and convince you that you're broken, behind, or failing, when none of it is actually true. One of the most painful truths, rumination disconnects you from the now. You can be with people you love, do something you enjoy, and still be somewhere else in your mind. Folks, that's not living. That's just existing in a deep black hole. Does it sound familiar? Have you been there and done that? I have. Story time. I know I've mentioned this before, but some weeks ago, my girlfriend Angela and I were having a little conversation. And in that conversation, or I should say after it was done, she says, "What's going on with you? You're not quite there." I was like, "What are you talking about? I'm here. I'm listening." She says, "Yeah, you're here, but you're not here." I denied it. Totally denied it. But guess what? After thinking about it, she was absolutely right. Tail between my legs again. This is another reason why I feel so strongly about this subject. We can't fix something unless we know it's broken. And thank God she's brought it up to me. So how do we break that loop? That's some good news for you. The good news is you don't have to stop thoughts from showing up. You just have to stop following them and allowing them. The word allow again. There's some ways to solve this problem, that rumination problem. First, you got to name it. When you catch yourself looping, say it out loud if you can. This is rumination. This isn't judgment. It's not frustration. It's just awareness. Naming it not only creates distance, it brings you to that awareness mind. The next thing is, ask a better question. Instead of asking, why did this happen? Try, what do I need right now? Rumination always looks backwards and tries to steal the now. Healing looks towards the present. Another thing is, move the body. Your mind isn't always looking for insight. It's looking for regulation. Try taking a walk. Maybe stretching. Try breathing slower than usual. Focus on your breathing. Movement tells your nervous system we're safe enough to stop scanning. It brings distance. And again, awareness. I don't know about you, but have you ever noticed when you're starting a task, your mind seems to get off of this rumination thing? It has for me, and this may work for you. Another tip is set a thinking boundary. This is the nuts and bolts of that whole rumination issue. If your brain insists on revisiting something, give it a container, a box, an imaginary one, of course. Now it's going to get a little deep. You're going to state the following. I'll think about this for 10 minutes, and then I'm done for today. Structure turns chaos into choice. Structure requires awareness. You will be obligated to be aware. Another tip is feel what you're avoiding. This one's very uncomfortable, but powerful. Ask ourselves the following. What emotion is underneath this thought that we created? Usually every thought is attached to an emotion. Then do yourself a favor. Let yourself feel it without trying to fix it. Not yet anyway. Feelings pass when they're felt, when they are recognized as we're feeling these emotions. So here's a question for you now. How do you feel? Have you ever thought you'd be in this thing called rumination? I personally never heard of it until recently when it was brought to my attention. And that's when I realized that it is a challenge for myself. It almost destroyed me until I became aware of it. It almost made me bankrupt. And here's something important that I want you to hear right now. Rumination doesn't mean you're weak. It means you care. It means your mind is trying to protect you. And many times it turns against us. So don't fight it, redirect it. Become aware and work on yourself. And people around you, the people who love you, can't be good unless you're good, not your thoughts. And please don't let them define you. You are the only one noticing them because they're in your head. Every time you choose this thing, presence, over that insane loop, you're teaching your brain a new way to exist. I like to close this thing out with, if your mind has been loud lately, be gentle with yourself. Silence isn't the goal, peace is. And peace comes from learning when to think and when to let go. It took me almost a year to overcome a lot of these challenges that you and I encounter with this rumination thing. And now that I'm aware, I'm choosing not to allow it. Do I struggle sometimes? Absolutely. I do the best I can without beating myself up. We're all a work in progress. Don't forget that. Allow yourself to be human. If this episode resonated with you, I'd like you to do me a favor. Take a breath right now. Just one, and remind yourself, I don't have to solve everything today, tonight. You're allowed to rest, even from your own mind. And one last thing before I go. If this content made sense to you, if you know somebody who has this rumination issue like I do, and maybe you, can you share this video with them? I'm sure it may help. I appreciate you being here again, and thank you for watching this video to the end. I'll see you on the next one.